Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Lying down on your backs, you can choose what posture you would like to be on your backs there. You might like to have the soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is your bound angle pose. Or you might like to be in Shavasana. So if you are in Shavasana, take as much space around you as you have, widening the feet a little bit, widening the arms. Or maybe the feet are planted on the mat and you have the knees together with the knees bent. So just take a few moments to become settled and find your preferred posture. And we'll take a mudra here, which is the left hand. The fingers are all together and the thumb is out to the side, and that plants just on the belly. And then the right hand comes across. So the fingers point downwards and then the thumbs are out to the side. So that's just resting down onto the belly. So you've got the right hand resting on top of the left, gently pressing. That's it. You've got it there. And the thumbs just point out to the sides. This is Matsya Mudra. Matsya is fish, in fact. Matsyasana. So Matsya Mudra, and that assists with inner refreshment, inner nourishment, and emotional release and comfort. And just allow that mudra to be comfortable. It doesn't have to be forced. You're not squeezing the fingers together too tightly or pressing the palms together or pressing on the belly. Just allow it to rest there. Allow your exhale to go deep down to your sacrum, your sacral region, all of the hip area, the navel, the lower back. Just really drawing your attention into this area of what is the Swadhisthana, the sacral chakra, but also as we work with the water element today. I want to have this feeling of nourishment, fluidity, creativity. And releasing emotion, which is, very expressive energy. So today I would like you to just find your flow, going with the flow of the practice, going with the flow of your breath, going with the flow of the water element, inviting moisture into the body, into the meridian lines of the kidney and the urinary meridian. And as water dances through our limbs, as it flows, moves, and morphs, it reminds us that flow is our natural state. Moving the body in rhythm, going with the flow, and learning to let go are ways to honor the water element within. We always have a choice: to swim against the tide or to float in synchronicity with our life. To go with the flow of your life means to accept your life as it is unfolding. It doesn't mean that we don't have daily annoyances and frustrations that we resist. It's just that we become better at identifying the places that may become stuck. And if we examine these places with curiosity, we may find a teaching or a gift. So some days your life may seem like a riptide. On other days, it will be gentle, where you float seamlessly. So for today, maybe inviting an intention of I flow through my mind and body with ease. Gently release the mudra up above the head so you can lift the arms nice and softly. Just relax the shoulder blades, lift and spread them out. And then maybe the arms just come into cactus as you just have a gentle and soft bend at the elbows. The backs of the hands might meet the mat. And the fingers are just soft and relaxed here. You can wiggle the fingers. You can just gently clench the fists and stretch the fingers open a few times just to bring some movement back into the hands. And then start to circle the wrists there. So you're just lifting up the hands, just circling the wrists one way, going with the flow of the wrist joint, letting it decide, letting it dictate its own movement. And then lifting the arms up a little bit further above the head. Feel the shoulder blades. So you can start to move the shoulder blades up and down, around. So you might lift the arms again off of the mat as you circle there, forward and back. So you're actually giving yourself a little shoulder massage. And then relax the hands down by the side of your body, palms face up, and just gently drop the chin towards the shoulder. Doesn't matter which way, right and left. And then bring back into center and just drop the chin over to the opposite side. So again, just gently mobilize through the neck. And if the eyes aren't already open, just blink the eyes and just blink them a few times so you get the eyelids moving, and you can stretch open the eyes, widen the eyes, looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up, looking down, looking in towards the center, the bridge of your nose. Move the eyeballs in the sockets and see what you see when you change the view. And then move the face. So you can screw up the face, you can open the mouth, and then move the jaw, release any tightness and tension into the facial muscles, smiling, grimacing, opening. And then relax everything, soften, breathe out. And if you're still in your Supta Baddha Konasana, use the hands to lift the thighs together. Bring the soles of the feet wide, toes turn in, heels turn out, knees rock in towards one another. And then just lift the head with the hands. So the hands come behind the back of the head, interlace the fingers there, and just lift the head, support the head. So keep the elbows nice and wide, open up the chest and look between the legs, look towards the knees. Feel the stretch through the back of the neck. Maybe that goes down into the upper back. And support the head with the hands there. You're if you were to let go of the hands, the head would fall heavy. It's 5 kilos of weight. And then roll the head back down, release the hands, heel toe the feet into parallel, and then just draw the knees in. This is where we start to really find the flow of the lower back and the sacrum, as you can start to move the knees. Again, let the knees, let the body dictate where it wants to go. You don't even have to think about it. Let it move freely, without judgment, without criticism. Maybe you separate a knee left and right, and you just feel the hips starting to release. Maybe you open the knees fully and circle the knees out to the sides. Maybe you do a little bit of half movement and then pull back into the center. So it doesn't matter what you do, just move. And throughout all of this, you're feeling the weight of gravity bearing you into the earth. One of the other elements that we'll come to later on in the month is that the sacrum, the lower back, and the pelvis are all really spreading out and grounding you through the spine. And then placing the soles of the feet down, in line with the hips. Just feel the feet, feel the toes. So wiggling the toes, feel the big toe. See if you can pull down the second, third, fourth, and little toe, all independently. Oh, that's a hard one. And then the little toe coming inwards to the big toe. And then feel the ball of the feet, and you can scrunch the toes up so that you kind of draw the arch backwards, and then you spread out the arch, feeling the ball of the toe spread out. Lift the heel up onto the toes, release the heel, press into the heel, lifting the toes. So lift the heel, press into the toes, release heels, and lift the toes. And then circle the ankles. So again, you can keep the heel down and circle the ankles that way, or you might just wish to lift a foot away from the mat and circle that way. Again, let the ankle decide what it wants to do. And then release everything back. Find your neutral position there. Palms of the hands come down. Soles of the feet are grounded. Pelvic tilts with your breath. Breathing in, lifting the pubic bone up, and breathing out, rolling down. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, rolling down. So move at your own pace of breath, going with the flow of your pelvis. And then bringing the feet back a little bit closer, pushing into the feet and the palms, lifting up into a full bridge. Maybe rolling a little bit onto the shoulders, but don't come too high here. You don't have to force the bridge. We don't have to bring the hands underneath just yet. So notice here what you have to do to hold this posture. Make sure that you're grounding yourself through the arms, through the feet. Breathing. And then just sway the hips from side to side. The knees, the ankles will move with you, and maybe introduce a few little circles. So you're in your bridge posture, but you're circling the hips up and down, around. So the hips are lifted off from the mat and circle the other way. Make sure the ankles, the knees move with the hips, and then roll down nice and slowly. Drawing the knees back in towards the chest, roll and massage out. Take the arms out to the side or cactus, palms face up. And then just roll the knees over from right to left. Breathing out as you release, breathing in as you come back into the center. So here you're just rolling on the hips, coming back through the pelvis, opening up into a gentle twist. Left and right. And the next time that you go over to the right, you're going to release the top leg and you sweep it all the way around. All my plants in the way, opening up the hip. So I'm going to have to move back a little bit. So your right knee is down and your right leg is just circling. Again, whatever it wants to do. It can be bent, can be straight. You can flex and point the foot, but you're just doing hip circles with that top leg. And go the other way. It's always nicer to go inwards. Just going with the flow. And then releasing back into the center. Rolling over to the left, releasing the top leg, going out first. I have much more room this side. No plant to contend with. Again, either bent, straight leg, or half bent. Flexing, pointing the foot, whatever feels good. And then going the other way. And just see how much hip rotation you have there. Noticing any clicks, any crunches that come into the hip joint when you're moving it in this way. And then releasing back into center. Lifting up the knees, widening the knees to the outside of your mat, and just a gentle press there on the inner thighs or the inner knees, wherever feels good. And then start to pull one knee back to the waist or the rib cage, and then the other. So again, you're just moving one knee back and forward. The hips and the pelvis might sway a little with you. The tailbone starts to wag. And then move the hips inwards, placing the soles of the feet down and rolling over to the side. And just gently bring yourself up and come into a wide leg child's pose. So hopefully we have a little bit more hip, pelvis, spinal mobility. And this doesn't have to be too restricted here. You know, you can rest the hands just in front of you. The fingertips don't need to be all the way stretching to the mat. If you feel that that's what you need, of course, go for it. Listening to what your body needs. If your shoulders feel tight, bring the arms back a little bit. Rest the head on the back of the hands. Just breathe into the back of the spine, into the skin, stretching over the spine in this child's pose, back flexion. Breathing out, releasing all the weight. And bringing the right hand underneath the forehead. Take the left hand and just press the sacrum just a little bit. So you're giving yourself a little bit of manual adjustment here. So the hand might be palm face down or the back of the hand, whatever feels good. So just open the shoulder, press into the sacrum just a little bit. Feel the flatness of the bowl of that pelvis there. Each exhale, press a little bit more. And then bring the left hand underneath the forehead. Right hand goes back behind you. Move the shoulder so that you can get yourself a little bit more opening. And then gently press with the right hand. Breathing in to lengthen the spine, breathing out, deepening, pressing. And then release the right hand. And then just bring yourself up into tabletop. Bringing the knees into parallel and just swaying the hips from side to side. Circle the hips forwards and back. Start to find the flow of your breath, maybe closing the eyes and just going with the flow here. So doing what feels good. You can start to release into those cat and cows. And circling the other way, pulling the hips back as you exhale, rounding the spine, coming forward, opening the spine, cat and cows, circles. Letting the body move where it wants to. And then releasing the right foot forward to the right wrist. Dropping the hips, turning the right foot out and just releasing just a little bit left and right. So you get a little bit of stretch. And you can pull back into these half splits, lifting up the front foot again. No, you don't have to be too rigid in this. Then releasing the left palm down and sweeping the right arm all the way back. Take the hand onto the base of the sacrum. Open up that front right chest and shoulder, really planting through that left hand. You can always place that left hand on a block. Placing onto the sacrum, looking back. Opening up, releasing that left leg down to the mat, and then bringing yourself back into center, sweeping that right leg back. Left leg comes forward, opening up the toes to the side, dropping the hips, swaying left, right, forward, backwards, circling. And then the right palm comes down, really plant through that palm, sweeping the left hand back behind you. Palm places itself on the sacrum. You roll the chest and shoulder open, and then give yourself a little bit of room to breathe. Dropping the right leg down a little bit more. Bringing yourself back into center. And then sweeping the legs around all the way into butterfly pose. Soles of the feet come together, sit nice and tall. Just move left to right of the sit bones so that you can find your center. And then just sitting nice and tall. So here, don't be too rigid. I want you to be nice and comfortable. Long spine, relaxed shoulders, relaxed face. Thinking back to all of that relaxing and fluid work on our backs. So try and let the knees soften. Let the hips release. And just release the head down towards the feet. Pull the belly back gently towards the spine. Let the head and the neck soften towards the heels. And then roll up through the spine. Lift the chest, lift the gaze, press the chest forward. So a few little chest and spinal ripples. So you're opening up gently into a back extension and then releasing into your forward fold. Breathing in as you raise up, breathing out as you release forward. Just a moving cat and cow. And then see if you can go in reverse. So this way you lengthen the spine, come up and release. Crown of the head goes forward, lengthen spine, up to a flat back extension, and contract the belly to release. Head comes forward. So you're releasing in an entirely different way. So dropping, contracting, head comes down, lengthen spine, come up. You feel that one. And then bring yourself back into the center to find that stillness. Take a few moments. This time, Sufi circles. So circling the torso over the knees. Dropping the head towards the feet. And then circling the other way. And lifting the knees together. Dropping the knees out to the sides, windscreen wipering. So just dropping both knees, lifting up the chest, lifting up the hip, and release to the other side. A few more times. It's so windy today out there. Maybe we should be doing the air element today because of the wind. And then bring yourself back into center. Sweep the legs around behind you. Come back into tabletop. Left leg comes out to the sides into your half moon sweeps. So you take the left leg out, foot faces forward. You're in a nice stable position in your tabletop. You're lifting up through the abdomen. And then you're going to sweep that leg over and back around over to the right side of your mat. So sweep it forward in line with the hip, sweep it back, crosses over, you take the gaze maybe back to the foot. A few more, rest the foot there, rest the foot. Notice if you drop into that left hip when you take the foot behind, or if you can keep that hip and pelvis still lifting up. I felt myself do it. That's why I mentioned it. So you're keeping the pelvis nice and stable and level. And then bring yourself back into that position. We're going to lift up the right arm this time and then thread it through. Maybe you reach towards the toes, coming in to thread the needle, lifting up the hips, reaching the left arm forward. Breathing in and out, feeling the outer edge of that left foot planting itself down. Bringing the left palm back and the right palm back. Sweep the leg back and come into the other side. And change sides. So right leg comes out. And bringing the right leg over. Oh, my blocks are in the way. And back. Keep that pelvis nice and stable, not dropping too much into the pelvis when it crosses over. And then last time it comes back and stays. Lift up the left arm this time, opening up through the side of the body, threading it through and under, keeping the hips nice and high. And then the right palm reaches forward. Breathing in and out. Bringing the right palm back. Bringing the left palm back. And bringing the right leg back. Tucking the toes. Preparing to come into your bent legged downward facing dog. And just pedaling out through the feet. Really feel those feet releasing. Stretching through the ankle. Introducing a little twist if that feels good. Looking underneath each armpit. Then let the body decide where it wants to go, what it wants to do. Let it move freely, fluidly, and creatively. Creatively. It's not even a word. Creatively. And then bring the feet in just a little bit so that you can sweep the right foot behind the left. And you're in a shorter downward facing dog. So maybe try and pull the right and the left heels down. The left foot is behind the right. Downward facing dog. And then release the left. Change feet. Right foot sweeps behind the left. Trying to release the heels. And then bring it back into the center. And exhaling. Stepping back. Full downward facing dog. Breathing nice and deeply. Slow and steady breaths. Nice and slowly walking the feet towards the hands into the center of your mat. And when you get there, take the feet hip width apart, just lifting the toes, lifting the heels, bending the knees, lengthening the spine, exhaling, belly, chest down. Wiggle the chest so that you can sway from side to side, and you're really allowing the whole body to come down over the thighs. Let the head release, yes and no. And then you might wish to start to lengthen up through the back of the legs. Again, no rigidity, no forcefulness. Feel where you want to go if you want to have that dangling stretch. You might take hold of the elbows if you haven't already, letting all full gravity release the crown of the head towards the earth. Lifting up through the sacrum, the sit bones. Releasing the hands, lifting the spine, heel toe the feet out. Malasana squat. Again, take time to get there, so bringing the hips back. Move left and right. Maybe opening up the hips just a little bit more. And then exhaling, coming into your malasana. Releasing the hands, lifting the sit bones, heel toe the feet into parallel, and then slowly release the body and start to roll up through the spine. Taking time to come up to standing, rolling the shoulders open, fingertips reach down to the earth in Tadasana. Again, we're not rigid, we're nice and soft through our approach to practice today, reminding ourselves of this water flowing through the body with the breath. Right foot goes behind the left. You find that little groundedness through both feet there. So we've got both feet planted. We're going to do a crescent side bend here. So lifting up the arms, taking hold of the left wrist. We're going to bend to the right, pushing the hip out, breathing over. Bring back into center, take the right wrist and go to the other side, still with the right foot behind. Left foot behind. Bring back into center. Change the wrist once more. So go to the right. You're transferring the balance right to left. Make sure the weight is equally distributed through both feet. And then bring yourself back into center and change legs. Right leg goes behind. Inhale the arms up, take hold of the right wrist this time, lifting up and over to the left. Breathing out, breathing into center, taking hold of left wrist, breathing out to the right. Breathing in, take it once more, right wrist to the left. Left wrist to the right. Breathe into center, release the hands, and release to Tadasana. This time, we're going to do those ripples. So you're going to release the chest forward, make sure that the spine follows in a nice, smooth, breath-led release. Head is the last thing to release. So you come up, chest lifts to the sky, gaze goes to the sky, exhaling. Make sure that you relax the head at the base. So rippling down, rolling up. Breathing out, releasing. And then we go the other way. So you lengthen the spine away, you pull yourself up, flat back, and then contract. Chin to chest rolls down. So lengthening the spine, flat back. Lift yourself up to standing. Gaze goes to the sky in your back extension. Then you bring the head in as the belly pulls back, rounding the spine to roll down. Lengthen the spine, flat back brings you up, chest lifts to the sky, chin to chest, belly pulls back, roll down. See if you can find that one. And last time we come up and release to Tadasana. Well done. So let's go goddess pose. You can go sideways onto your mat. A little bit of goddess flow coming up. Get into the legs. So let's move from right to left, lifting up heels. And each time, just see if you can get a little bit lower. And then you start to shift and the heels stay down. So you're just shifting the knees from right to left. That's it. Good. Hands can be in the heart. They can be out to the side, wherever they feel most comfortable. And then start to slow it down. And you come into the center. Tiny little pulses here. Dropping, pressing up, releasing. Dropping, pressing, releasing. Nice. Good. Tiny pulses. Keep the knees nice and wide, tracking those middle toes. Pressing through the feet. And then we're going to press up into star. So lifting up the arms, maybe raising onto the toes, dropping and releasing, lifting up. Good. Dropping and releasing, exhaling, inhale, star, maybe raising the heels. Exhale, inhale. Let's introduce the body. So this time the body releases, you double bounce and then lift up. Double bounce with the legs, lift up. Twice more, doing great. Exhale, double bounce, lift up. Last time, double bounce, lift up, stay. Smile, breathe, balance, strength. Lowering the heels nice and slowly. Hands to hips, turn the toes in. Exhale, nice flat back, rolling forward from the pelvis. Hands come down, widen the feet if you need here, turning the heels out, toes come in. Lengthen the spine here, so you're up onto your fingertips, abdomen is drawn in. Reach the fingers forward, and then exhale, press the chest. So it's a wide-legged forward fold, almost like a down dog. So your hands are in your down dog position. Start to pull the hips backwards. Breathe out. And then come back up into the center. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. So lengthening up into a twist here. So left hand can come into the center. Right hand goes to the sacrum. Opening up to the side body. Making sure that pelvis doesn't twist with you. So you're not over forcing the twist. That's why the hand stays onto the sacrum first of all. And then maybe that top arm releases up. Rolling open the chest. And then release down. Take it to the other side. Hand comes to the sacrum. Drawing in through the abdomen. Open up through the left side of the torso. Give that sacrum a little press. And then lifting the arm up. And then release the hands. Let the body release to the mat this time. Just release the stretch, release the fold. Maybe the head comes down. Soften the knees just a little bit. Turn the heels inwards so the knees are bent. Toes are turning out. And then you can start to move again left and right with the knees. So you're moving the hips, knees, bending into the ankles. So we're going to stay nice and low. We're going to move over to the right, coming into your side squat. Moving over to the left, side squat that side. So stay as low as you can. You're going to move yourself over. That foot whatever it wants to do. It can come up onto the heel. It can stay facing forward. Again, I just want you to find what posture and positioning feels good for you. See if you can test yourself. And the hands can come off. And you slide over left to right with the hands into the heart. Whoa, yeah, we might have to come up just a little. And then release, heel toe the feet into parallel. Exhale, full fold. And then inhale, arms raise up to the sky. Big, big stretch. Release the hands down. Take a moment's rest. You're going to come into a standing balance, which is your half moon pose, into Chapasana. So having a block either side of you. If you've got two blocks, great. One at one end, one at the other. So, right foot first, faces forward towards the block. And then get into this position from where we would start. So your triangle position, first of all, opening up the arms, feeling confident, strong here, but still that fluidness, that femininity of movement. And then releasing out into your triangle. Gonna have to widen that one just a little bit. Looking forward to where you want to go, moving through the front knee, right hand comes down to the block or to the mat, and start to lift the leg, nice and steady, slowly, slowly. Flex or point the back foot, lift the leg, rotate the rib cage just a little. Find the breath. And then take hold of the back foot if your hand meets it. Opening up through the chest just a little bit more. Then release the leg back into half moon. And then release the leg through warrior two. Exhaling, lifting up reverse warrior. Exhaling, roll over to side angle. And then move through your transition of side squat to the other side. And opening up warrior two. Preparing for triangle on the other side. So releasing out the arm, exhaling, coming to triangle, looking forward to where you want to balance, bending through the front knee, releasing the hands to the block or to the mat, lifting up the back leg slowly, flexing, pointing the foot if you need to, taking the back foot into Chapasana. Releasing to half moon. Releasing the foot back through warrior two. Reverse warrior, lifting up as you breathe in. Exhaling, rolling over to side angle. Transferring into your side squat. Back to the other side. Opening up through warrior two. And then straightening the legs, turning the toes in. And then from here, heel toe the feet all the way into parallel. So you're really using the outer hip joints to bring the legs back in. Standing, taking a moment. I'm going to go through that balance sequence once more. I want you to think of where we were going. So we went from a triangle, half moon, Chapasana, half moon, warrior two, reverse warrior, side angle, side squat to the other side. Heel toe the feet out. Front foot faces forward. Release out into triangle. Let's make this nice and smooth. Exhaling. Stepping forward, lifting the leg, finding your balance. Move through the breath. Releasing to Chapasana, almost making it a dance, using the water element. Extending the leg, half moon. Releasing the leg with control to warrior two. Exhaling there. Inhale, sweep the arms up to reverse. Exhale, sweep and windmill all the way over, and then rotate round through your through your side squat to the other side. Windmill the arms up through warrior, straighten the leg. Triangle pose first of all, exhaling. Bending through the front knee, transitioning into the balance, lifting the back leg for half moon. Opening up a little bit further into Chapasana. Releasing back to half moon. Releasing on the exhale. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill all the way over to side angle. Rotating round, side squatting, bringing yourself back, turning the feet, windmilling the arms to warrior two, and then pressing up through the feet, turning that front foot inwards, and then heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, back into center. Whoa, good work. Let's come down onto our mat. So let's go to the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms up, big sweep. Exhale, melt and ripple, just as we did. So chest releases, knees bend, chest releases to the thigh. Inhale, ripple to the half lift. Exhale, hands come down, step back right, step back left. Into a plank, lower the knees, chest, chin, connecting vinyasa. Inhale, ripple up to your seal or cobra. And exhale, release. Take it back into child's pose. Bring the hands back to the hips, palms face up. Exhaling. Rolling up through the spine, coming into kneeling. And then sweeping the right leg around in front of you. Keeping into your half hero. You can put a block underneath that right buttock if you like, or the right buttock comes down, and just open up the left leg just a little bit. So half hero here, sitting nice and tall. Again, be fluid and relaxed in the practice. So lifting up the arms, exhaling, reaching over, taking a fold, really drawing that left hip down as much as the right. If there's any compression into that left knee, come out of the posture or use the block. Relax and soften into the chest and shoulders, letting the head release. Lengthen the arms, lift up with a nice flat back. The arms circle all the way back behind you, and then lifting up the hips, pointing that right foot down. Feel a stretch through that left quadricep and that right foot. And then release. You're going to carefully lift the left leg and bring it over the right. Twisting towards the left thigh, opening out. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Half spinal twist. Bringing yourself back into center. Release the left and change legs. Right leg comes back behind you. You can sit on that block if you need to under the left buttock. Roll open the calf. Make sure that right foot is nicely planted, lifting up the arms for the breath in, releasing out on the breath out. Couple of breaths. Relax into the shoulders. Breathe out into the fold deeper. Then lengthen the spine. Arms reach away. Lift up with control and strength. Arms come back behind you and lifting up the hips. Lengthening through that right thigh, pointing the left foot down. Lift up, open the chest. Maybe the gaze goes to the sky, or it can look ahead. Releasing the hips with control. Be nice and careful when you lift that leg up, transitioning it over and opening up into your Ardha Matsyendrasana twist on the right leg. Release and bring yourself back into center, releasing the legs. Both arms lift up, full forward fold here. Exhale, reach over. Take a few breaths. Nice and slowly roll up through the spine. We're going to come into a wide-legged, seated forward fold. So maybe turning onto sideways, it's your choice, or you can just go straight into the wide leg from where you are. Sitting nice and tall, we're just going to sweep it up and over to the right, first of all, keeping grounded through that hip, and then release forward. Go over to the other side and circle up. So you release over the leg, circle forward, go to the opposite side, and then open up. So again, it's just soft movement, fluid. You can embellish, be creative. Last time, circle. Make sure you've done it equally on all sides. Back into the center. Walk the fingers forward. Keep the toes turning up towards the sky. Exhaling. Try and keep a nice flat back. Chest is nice and open. Crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale just a little bit more. Open the chest a little bit more. Feel the spine lengthen just a little bit more. Walking the hands back, sitting upright, and then bending the legs carefully into Diya. So bending the front knee and then the back knee. Lifting up and over and twisting over the front right thigh. You can use the block there if you need to support the head, but really getting the belly as much as you can over that right thigh, relaxing the head down, softening everywhere here. Walking the hands back as you lift up, Give yourself a little bit of an extra twist here. You might hold on to the knee, give yourself a bit of leverage, or you may wish to lift up the top left arm above you. Keep out of that right shoulder, not dropping. You're pushing this left hip flexor forward. And then sweep it round, change the legs. Get the belly free from the thigh as you exhale over that left leg, releasing the body down. Walking the hands back as you raise up. Nice long spine. Left hand goes behind you. Right hand might take the knee as you just gaze back. And again, you choose the option. Maybe the hand stays down onto the knee, or you lift the arm up. Keep out of that left shoulder. Try not to dump. Keep pressing away from the mat and pushing the right hip flexor forward. Beautiful. Lovely. And then bring back into center and just gently bring the legs back in and give yourself a big hug. Nice deep exhale. Chest, belly comes to the thighs. Relax the shoulders, relax the head to the knees. So that's prepared us for our pigeon pose. So coming into pigeon, right leg forward, opening up the back leg. Carefully transitioning into this one, flexing through the front right ankle and exhaling, reaching over. Lengthening the spine a little bit more to get that depth of the release and surrender. Exhale. Walking the hands back. You can stay upright in your pigeon, or you might wish to go to Ekapada, Raja Kapotasana, sweeping the arm back, taking hold of that back foot, and then lifting up front right arm. All options available. Release the arm, release the leg, sweep the left around to change sides. Right leg goes back behind you, lifting up and over, and then flexing through the front left foot. Exhale over the leg. Walking the hands back. Staying in that upright pigeon position, drawing the abdomen in, nice long spine. You can support yourself with the left hand as the right arm sweeps back, maybe taking hold of that foot and then lengthening the quadricep to find that king pigeon, lifting up the left arm. This is not my best side at all. Smiling, breathing, finding a little bit of fun in the practice. And releasing the hand, releasing the foot, swinging the legs around in front of you, at the front of your mat, taking a nice, slow, controlled release and roll down. Drawing the knees in towards the chest as we return to where we started the practice. Now feel really the sacrum, the pelvis, the hips, the lower back, the waist, the shoulders are spread. Circle the knees out to the side. Notice if you have additional range of motion, flexibility, and suppleness into the inner thighs and the hips. And then if there's something else that you really want to do right now, be creative, go for it, do whatever you need, or you might just simply come into your final relaxation. It might be a happy baby, it might be a wide leg stretch, might be another Supta Baddha Konasana. But whatever you've chosen to do, making your way into Shavasana when you're ready, making yourself comfortable, warm, letting the breath now feed the body, nourish every single cell. Allow everything now. Time and patience to slow down. Almost visualize the water flowing around your body. We are made up of 75% water. So almost feel that everything is now flowing freely, moving without blockages. You've opened up all of the dams and the locks. And the water can now nourish and feed and refresh your entire body. I'll leave you for a few moments of silence and bring you back shortly. Taking a few deeper breaths as you bring awareness back to your surroundings, back onto your mat and into the body, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, moving the head, choosing to stretch. Taking your time as you draw the knees in, last and final movement here, rolling, massaging it out, doing what you need to bring yourself back up to seated. And just bringing the hands into Anjali Mudra at heart center, just pressing the palms together, thumbs into the sternum. Sit nice and tall here again, not rigid, just firm and relaxed. And just breathe steadily. And just recall any intention that you had about flowing through practice, using water element to find your flow state, accepting things more fluidly, more creatively. And giving thanks to your breath and your body today, and to the water element and to the water in each of us. And I thank you. Namaste.